Everybody. Okay. Let's start with Terrell Van. He was the first one in here. What's your problems? What you got? Uh huh. Okay, what you did was you claimed exemption so that they wouldn't take any taxes out. Is that correct? Then after a while, they came and said you can't do that and put an injunction where, and they're taking a certain amount out of your earnings. Okay, good. I got a solution for that. Uh, actually, I'm gonna start with you because that's very good. Now I'm gonna pull up this form. Let me see which one it is. This is the W-4 form. And what we're going to do is, this is not the W-4 form, but what it is, it's a form. Can y'all see that form? Notice to all workers, employers regarding voluntary nature of the IRS form W-4. That's the form you filled out that told them how much you wanted them to take out, right? And you put exemption, right? But here's the problem with this form. This form is for U.S. citizens. So when you fill out this form, you're giving them consent to take money out. That's how come the IRS can come and put an injunction to control how much you take out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you the law on this form from their code. Because let's see. Let's go back to that form. And the code was, sometimes this thing is a little hard to see. Hang on. It's the code section 31-3402-P1. I have that page pulled up. I just want to make sure I had it all pulled up. 3121-7701. Hang on. Here it is right here. This is what the code said in CFR Title 26, CFR 31.3402P-1 voluntary withholding agreement. I'm going to read this. Can y'all see this? All right. Here it is. A, in general, an employee and his employer may enter into an agreement under Section 3402B to provide for the withholding of income tax upon payments of amounts described in paragraph B1 of 31.3401A-3. Come on, Spotty. Made after December 31st, 1970. I don't want to mute people out. Mute out, but try to keep the background noise to a minimum so that everybody can hear. But if it gets too out of control, I'm going to have to mute everybody out in order to go over this. All right? Because somebody's got some... All right. I'm going to go after the ones that's making the... Hang on. Let me just get all of these background noise out. Okay, here we go. 24. All right. I'm muting everybody. There you go.
All participants are muted.
Except for Terrell Van, I'm going to unmute yours. All right. Here we go. Where was I? Section 61 must be applicable to all such amounts paid by the employer to the employee. The amount to be withheld pursuant to an agreement under the Section 3402P shall be determined under the rules contained in Section 3402 and the regulations thereunder. All right. That there said it is voluntary for you to fill this form out. So whenever you fill these forms out, you are entering into an agreement for them to take money out, and that's how they ask you how many exemptions you want to do. So basically, you can put exempt on this form if you want to. But the problem with this form is by you agreeing to this, they can come back, the IRS can come back and do anything they want to you. Mm-hmm. You see, because you just said, I'm a U.S. citizen, I reside in the District of Columbia, and you can extort money from me whenever you want to. That's basically the way I look at it. You could rob me. You could take 30% of my income of my labor. And here's the reason why income tax should not be taxed. Because if I hire you, Terrell, to do a job, we agree on a payment. Let's say I'm going to pay you $1,000 a week to do some work for me, right? You're trading your labor for compensation. There is no profit in that. You see what I'm saying? I'm paying you to do a specific job. You don't profit. That's not profit. Only businesses do profit. So that's the only thing that should be taxed. And I'm going to show you in North Carolina's Constitution, this is one of the only constitutions that I've ever seen where it's written this clearly about taxes. Are y'all seeing that clearly?
Yeah.
All right. This is not the right one I want. Let me see. Where's my bookmarks at? Hang on. I see a few people joined in. Hang on. Sometimes we allow societal ideologies to keep us in situations we really shouldn't be in, that we need to walk away. Because the one thing that you don't get back is that time you spent there in that space. You don't get that back. Because all you have is now. Now is the time to do decisions. When you have problems, and they could be extreme, that is a great opportunity for you to really practice transcending that situation and work out not allowing it to bring you down consciously. That's the mission. That's the mission, to be able to navigate all of the challenges of this world that it may bring you and still be able to walk over it like Christ walked on water. Still be able to allow yourself to be sacrificed for the good of mankind. I'm not saying go allow people to nail you to a stake or anything like that. What I'm saying is spiritually, even though these people, you might feel from a fleshly level that they deserve condemnation, you cannot condemn. Because once you don't allow yourself to pass judgment on them for their wrongdoing, and you look at it as simply as, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. And honestly, people are so indoctrinated into the opposer mindset, into the devil mindset, that what they do, although it may be wrong to some and most people, they really don't see it as wrong. They really can't see it because their mind is so clouded in that vibration that in that world they feel justified. You just so happen to be a casualty of their ignorance to their true divinity. Peace. All right, y'all should be able to hear me. I'm checking my mic. All right. I only get one thumbs up with all the people that's on right now. One thumbs up. Come on now. I know I can get something better than that. Citizens of Heaven. Why did I put that? Why did I put that as the title? First, let me greet everyone. Peace, prosperity, extreme wealth to everyone
that is tuning in on this January the 13th. We are halfway through January already. God, all right. We just started halfway through. 13 days. 13 days. And we are in full swing. February be here before you know it. Um, so I hope everybody's doing good. And that's Philippians chapter 3, 20 to 21. Philippians chapter 3, 20, 21. Philippians. 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 That sounds like that's Philippines. Hmm. Um, so let's read this. So let me make sure I have this chapter 3. But our citizenship is in heaven, and it is from there that we are expecting a Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ. He will transform the body of our humiliation that it may be conformed to the body of his glory by the power that also enables him to make all things subject to himself. I'm going to try to explain this. I'm going to ask the mastermind to help me break this down for you guys tonight. To understand that some of the things that we've been taught through this journey must change. It has to change. And we have to move as quickly as we can, or as quickly as times allow, or even as quickly as your finances allow. So you guys been hearing me that birth certificate belongs to the government. The county created it. It's their document. So if you authenticate that, all you are is proving the evidence of the straw man being created, evidence of the bond of that straw man. And from there, that is taken in to show proof so that you can get a social security card connected to that birth certificate. An account is created at that time. You go open up an account. See what happened. Hang on. Let me do something first. Let me go get my let me I'll be right back because I gotta go. I feel like I can't do it without this. Hang on. Um
Yeah, but let me finish going over the people. All I see is it. What you got now? 21, 7701. Hang on. Here it is right here. This is what the code said in CFR Title 26, Title 26 CFR 31.342 P-1 voluntary withholding agreement. I'm going to read this. Can y'all see this? All right. Here it is. A, in general, an employee and his employer may enter into an agreement under Section 3402B to provide for the withholding of income tax upon payments of amounts described in paragraph B1 of 31.3401A-3. Made after December 31st, 1970. I don't want to mute people out, but try to keep the background noise to a minimum so that everybody can hear. But if it gets too out of control, I'm going to have to mute everybody out in order to go over this. All right? Because somebody's got some. All right.
All right, I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to get my juice to the ancestors. Ooh. Oh, that was strong. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot to say tonight, bro. Take another one. Woo wee. All right. Oh, I forgot to put on Telegram. Let's get Telegram. Mm. Oh, I feel it. I feel a word coming on. All right, there we go. Growing up, I had a lot of family members that enjoyed alcohol a little bit too much. And that's why I never really drank. And sometimes I drink during the show because I feel like I channel. I know, not that I feel like I know I channeled. I don't know exactly whose spirit be channeling through me to speak. That's why they call this stuff spirits, because it opens up a portal. That's why you can't overindulge in it, because then you get to choose what spirit's going to channel through you. When you overindulge, you have no control over that. See, I have a purpose to when I drink this. My purpose of drinking is to bring that spirit that's going to give me the information to deliver. See, in moderation, it's fine because even like Christ, he turned water into wine, right, for the wedding. So it's good for something, and for me, it's good for delivering messages. And sometimes y'all don't see me do it at all. I go weeks, and then it's time when it's time to deliver. Just drop it, like I'm gonna do tonight, to a degree, because they're gonna hold back, and they're gonna say, nope, that's enough. You done said enough. So where was I? Y'all ready? Yeah. If y'all really ready, y'all type in the chat. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? That's what I want to see. Somebody say they ready. And while y'all saying y'all ready, I'm gonna take another. And I put very little in there. I don't do a whole lot. Yeah. So what I was saying, you cannot authenticate their document and expect to be free, right? And take that and carry that around as proof. All you're doing is proving that a straw man was created. Let me go and get this one. Give me a second. I'm looking up a scripture right now that I could read to you, so y'all can make this connection. And this comes right out of Jeremiah 19:5. And and when I read this and I break this down, you may feel some kind of way. But what I'm about to read, I have put myself in this position in an ignorant way because I didn't know any better when I did this. But most of us listening have done this. Okay, Jeremiah 19:5. And Let me start in 4. Because the people have forsaken me and have profaned this place by making offerings in it to other gods whom neither they nor their ancestors nor the kings of Judah have known. And because they have filled the place with the blood of the innocent and gone on building the high places of Baal to burn their children in the fire as burnt offerings to Baal, which I did not command or decree, nor did it enter my mind. Wait a minute, Hakeem, I never sacrificed my kid to Baal. I never sacrificed him or put him up to false gods. I never done that. And I'll say you did. We all did, unknowingly. This is why your mom is listed as an informant on the birth certificate, not as an actual. First of all, that's bad to even say she was an informant because she had this child and she went through all this stress and trauma. So she was so preoccupied with the birth, she don't know what time she had the child. Someone has to tell her this. Yes, they put the mother and father's name on the birth certificate, but they're not talking about the spiritual you. They're talking about the straw man you. Two straw men, mother and father, created another straw man. That's what they did. So as soon as this living spiritual being came out, it was basically killed off or sacrificed off by way of a piece of paper in a symbolic sacrifice. Came out living, but came out through the paper dead. It was turned into a fictitious entity, a dead entity that can't speak for itself. Someone has to carry it around and promote it and put it into commerce. So this is why the birth certificate can't be used if you really trying to correct your nationality and put yourself in good standing and bring yourself back into God's favor. You're going to have to stop. You can't present that document as proof because all it does is proves that that's a child of Baal. That's a child of a false god. That's it. That's what it proves. So how do we prove our existence? The proof of your existence that you standing in front of me. I'm standing in front of you. There's your proof right there. But for the sake of the government or the false god to prove, you have to create your own documents from your own from God's kingdom and prove that's your proof. Because if you look at when Daniel was under the rule of Nebuchadnezzar, and you had the three Hebrew boys, Bedrach, Sirach, and I can't think of their names. They had their own system of eating, so that's why they didn't bow down. When it came time for that bell ring or that horn, they didn't do it because they had their own system. They had their own nationality and they did things differently. They ate differently. They prayed differently. But how can you say you're a child of God when you're using man-made documents, man-made created documents to prove that who you are? You can't. Yes, I believe one time authenticating the birth certificate was a good thing. Now I say no. You don't need that. You create your own document. I said this last week or the week before. Create your own birth statement, have that notarized, and then get it authenticated. And I'm purposely leaving out a specific thing you need to say in order to get it notarized. But those who have ears will understand what they're supposed to do. And if you know what you're supposed to do, don't type it in the chat. because we got eavesdroppers. Now it's not. This is a message just to put people on track in the right direction. So I'll say it again. You get your own birth certificate. I don't care how old you are. You can do it now. Because once you get that seal on it that has the rules of evidence on it, now everyone has to accept it as a fact. The facts of your birth, the facts of your children's birth. If you really, 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 this is why I'm like, okay, we've been getting our passport the way I taught it. We have. But just imagine if you're taking only all your documents into their system and don't go to their quasi system to get it done. Meaning, when I say go to the quasi, go to the courthouse, go to the post offices and all of that. Nah, go right into the passport office and turn your stuff in and get your passport right there on the spot, so that you can stand the test of the questions. Well, where's this and where's that? Nah, you explain it. You speak with authority. Hey, I come by way of God, and this is how I present myself. I'm a citizen of heaven. You could even use this scripture, the scripture I read, Philippians 3:20 through 21. See, when you start flipping around and have that Bible in your hand and you start speaking on what you want to happen, it happens. Everybody that come to me talking about they could not get their name changed. They could not get their name changed. And then I asked them, did you talk about the Bible? Did you tell them why you was doing it? That you was becoming a new man in Christ, or you becoming a new putting off the old you, becoming a new you? Did you do that according to the Bible? Did you? And then they said, no, I said something about, you know, use the Latin terms, Dominicus, whatever that is. I can't even remember it. The Spirit won't even let me say those words anymore. Because the only thing I could think of and remember is actually Bible scriptures. I'm trying to think of the domino, whatever that is. It won't even come out my mouth. But what is coming out my mouth, what you should say. Speak nothing but words from the Spirit. There is no higher authority than that when you're coming from that tongue. And that is what speaking in tongues is all about. Speaking in tongues is not about speaking foreign languages and all this stuff that people can't understand. Speaking in tongues is speaking in the God tongue. That's what it is. And that means speaking with authority on standing on your beliefs. Too many times I see people cowering when it comes to talking about what they claim they believe. No, you don't believe that. You believe in man's system. Because you can speak on that all day. You'll give them that. Unfortunately, for far too long, many of us have been allowed ourselves to be misled by false teachers. Y'all saw that video I showed in the beginning was my IRS webinar 1. Y'all saw who was on there with me. See, for a long time I had chains on my tongue. But this is a 9-year, baby. This is the 9-year. This is the time. This is the time to put to be very deliberate and to go nuclear on this process and to shut down all the nonsense. See, it's like working out. Nobody saw what was going on behind closed door, the working, the mental workouts, the spiritual workouts. See, that's what happens. You got to work out. You got to work your body out. You got to work your mind out. And when it's time to let loose, you cut it down. Even in the Bible, right? You know, when Christ, he got delivered, he went up but there was a time where he had to go to war and shut down and show what the truth really is. We always were supposed to create our own evidence of our children's birth, of our family history. We got away from that, and then we allowed the government to do it for us. And because the government do it for us, they used that to their benefit. They didn't let you know that they was converting your living spiritual being into a dead entity that they could put into commerce because that's what they have jurisdiction over. This is the land of the dead. Because that's all that's doing business, dead entities. And the living, the people that actually have flesh and blood are actually executing and putting these dead entities into their system to do business. It's like avatars. Think about it. So you create your birth statements, have it notarized, get your two witnesses, have it notarized, get it authenticated on the state level, then send it on up to the fed level and get that authenticated. And like I said, there's something I'm leaving out purposefully. But people in my group, they already know this. They should, because I said it exactly what they need to do. I said it. Now, also, because they have taken that all cap name and they have bastardized it and is in their system for the benefit of them, you got to do a formal name change. Did y'all know in the Bible that the people of God had name changes going on? See, they had their Hebrew name and then they had a name under the government that they was working with. Well, there was name changes all over the Bible, according to the deeds or the work they were doing. But see, they did it in reverse. Your mom and dad said, this is your name. And then they took that name and did a name change. Went in one way and came out another. It looked the same, but it's not the same. How many letters are in the alphabet? How many? 52. 26 upper, 26 lower. If it's an all upper, that means something totally different than lowercase or upper and lower. Got to do the name change. Then once you get that name change, get it certified. Some people get it exemplification. Guess what? A exemplification only happens on the county level, right? You go get that authenticated at the Secretary of State of the state that you got the name change done. Then go take that to the top to the Fed to get that authenticated. Now that will transcend all jurisdiction, domestic and foreign, meaning that piece of that will carry you in wherever you go. You show that that's evidence. And your petition will forever be on the record, because my petition that I put is on the record that I was doing specifically because God told me to do it. I hope y'all listening. I hope y'all listening. And the thing about it, this is so simple. Somebody said they need to get with me in the private about creating their own birthday certificate. I didn't say make a certificate. I said make a statement. Do y'all realize the birth certificate is just a bond, but that's not the statement. The statement is the actual application that was filled out. That is the real evidence of birth. That certificate is just the representation, so you don't have to show all all the little details that they had on there. It's what the real. It's like anything you register. The real thing. It's like you go in and you register a DBA. Let's just say you do a DBA. You just take in the application, they stamp it and give you the very application back. Same thing with the passport. You got a card with your picture on it, but the actual passport is the application, the thing you signed off. That is the contract. So make a statement. I, such and such and such, born on this day, born here in the land of this and this and that. And mother's name is this, father's name is that, and have two witnesses sign off it. Oh, but do it have to be somebody who? No, not necessarily, no. These two witnesses is signed. They're just authenticating the fact that you wrote that. And then you get that notarized and then authenticated. Secretary of State of your state, then take it to the federal Secretary of State and have it authenticated. And again, I'm leaving out a very important piece of information. A very important piece of it, because you have to say something in a very specific way to get that done. If you don't say this, it won't get done. Okay? Let me make that clear. Now, if you want to get fancy, have a certificate. Well, why do you? Only reason why you have a birth certificate because that's a bond. That's a monetized bond. They're making money off of that. You're just trying to state the facts of your birth. That's all you need. Same thing with marriage. Create a statement of the time, date, who pastored it. That's it. This is simple, basically like an affidavit. Really, what I'm saying is affidavit of birth. That's what it really is, an affidavit of birth. Affidavit of marriage. And I'm also leaving out certain words. Because, see, everybody going to come and they're going to have their little stuff, but they ain't going to have the right words on there. See, I'm only allowed to give you put so much information on this public airways. Not because, YouTube without. It's because there's certain people that ain't supposed to have this. They got to let them figure it out. But when y'all get with me on a personal level, I'll tell you what it is, what those key words that I'm leaving out. You see? What is it, 8:40? I almost didn't do a show. I was about to put this off to tomorrow, man. I said, you know what? The Spirit didn't tell me to make that title and not do it tonight. I'm telling y'all, I fight myself every day to do what I need to do. That's why I keep telling you the struggle ain't out there. It's always within you. The conflict is within you. To stay focused, to stay on your path. That's where the conflict. That's where my conflict is. I wanted to, man, I've been up since early this morning. I wanted to go lay down. Then I said, I'm going to lay down and do what? Stare at the ceiling? What? I'll get to take a little sleep, wake up. Because if I ain't going to sleep good until I do what I'm doing right now. I'm also being led to tell y'all can't save everybody. Okay. It's good if you have somebody with you and y'all can really get down and work with this. That feels good. I want it to be like that. But it's just not like that. Because not everybody is as zealous, as enthusiastic as you about this, as passionate. See, when I got in this, I knew this was the path. I knew this was my path to freedom. When I first started this, I could still feel that taste in my mouth, that feeling that this was it. This is the way I can get free from the everyday working life. I felt it. I knew it. You could not tell me different. And look at me now. 10 years later, literally 10 years later. But 10 years ago, when I first started this, I knew it, but I didn't know how. But I kept walking. I got caught up with some teachers that, wasn't teaching it correctly. But I didn't know. I didn't question. I didn't argue with anybody. I stayed obedient to the walk the Spirit told me to walk in. Because I was confident I was going somewhere. And then that journey ended abruptly. Like literally abruptly, not like over time. It literally ended over one disagreement. So that means it was nothing I could do about that. That it was supposed to happen exactly like that. People don't usually end stuff over one little argument. That means they wanted to leave me high and dry in the first place. I was a means to end for a little while. Until, what happens is when you start resonating at a different frequency and they're on a different frequency, you can no longer work with that person. See, that's why I keep telling you the key to happiness, the key to not being so disappointed is acceptance. Meaning when things happen that you didn't plan and it's not really what you thought it should be, you need to accept it as it is and leave it alone and keep moving forward. Acceptance is the key. Non-acceptance is the reason why people suffer, because they do not accept the current reality that they're living in, and they fight against it. Even in a financial sense, if money is not exactly what you want it to be, accept, hey, it's not what it is, but it don't have to stay like this. Okay, I recognize, and then recognize what is it, why my money is choked, why is it slow? And a lot of times y'all money is slowed down because the other people you connected to and the people they connected to got a poverty spirit. And you keep bringing that poverty spirit into you, into your space. They got a hater spirit towards you and you don't even know it. Secret hate for you. Tell you the biggest ones that'll hurt you is the ones that smile at you. Trust me. Mm. And they'll look you in the face and say, I love you. While they got a big 16-inch knife in their hand in the back. Okay? I didn't experience it. I didn't experience it all. Listen, I done been through a lot over the last few years. A whole lot. And I still get on here and I do my shows consistently and religiously weekly. But I'm going to tell you, sometimes I just don't want to do it. I get tired of talking. I was just walking. Spirit told me today, you know what? Only talk when necessary. Do your show, talk then. After that, shut up. When people get their consultations, talk to them then. After that, it's like, and so much peace comes from that. I realized I was causing myself a headache, trying to convince folks I ain't got to convince him of nothing. I'm already convinced. I already seen the proof. Anyway, Spirit, there's any more that I need to share tonight before I shut this down? Last thing I want to say. It is January the 13th, 2025. And what I want to say is it would behoove you, and this is something that coming up in my spirit. Prepare. Go get you some extra water, some extra food. Be prepared. Put some gas in your car. Just be prepared. We got 7 days into the inauguration. Anything can jump off. I just feel like I need to tell you that. I'm not trying to put fear in you. I just say it's better to be prepared than nothing happening, something to happening. You don't have what you need. Just prepare. Okay? All right. All right, y'all have a good rest of your evening. I'll see y'all tomorrow evening. We'll talk. And I have something else to say. Whatever the Spirit tell me to put as a title, I'll put it and we'll talk about it. So stop sacrificing your children off the bell, but you could bring them out. You could redeem them. Create your own statements. Go get those things authenticated. And just imagine if you're going to get your passport just with all of your documents. I know some of y'all might be a little confused. Well, how exactly? Because we're so programmed to use their stuff to get stuff. How easy it would be not to even use the social, because you show us the birth certificate, they know where's the social at. They know that. They make those assumptions. All right. Peace, prosperity, extreme wealth to y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your evening. I will see you tomorrow. Sometimes we allow societal ideologies to keep us in situations we really shouldn't be in, that we need to walk away. Because the one thing that you don't get back is that time you spent there in that space. You don't get that back, because all you have is now. Now is the time to do decisions. Now is the time to enjoy your life. Now is the time to level up wherever you want to go. Now is the time. It's not tomorrow. It's not yesterday. It is right now. And if there's something in your way, and most of us know what it is, but we don't want to do it about it. One of the most difficult things that we find is not accepting people as they are and how they present themselves to us. We sometimes tend to accept people with the idea of how you want them to be and hope that they'll match that. They should already be where you in that space.